Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Wellness Foreplay Podcast. We are Dr. Dondi and Marcy Nettles.
Hi, guys.
We are your hosts, and we are super excited for our special guest today. And in fact, this is the first episode where we've had a special guest. So this is the inaugural version into having a guest and sharing the time. And we thought, what an amazing opportunity it is to share our special guest with you today. And we're going to be talking about gratitude.
Yeah.
More specifically, the science of gratitude. So before we get into that, let's tell them a little bit about ourselves. How about you go first?
Well, first of all, I'm a former police detective, and you're
I'm a former family wellness chiropractor.
And so we had this brilliant idea that we would bring our past expertise together and do the investigations into different health areas that can really, help you live a better life, a longer life, looking better, feeling better, and performing better all the way around. And so we came up with Wellness Foreplay. So obviously, foreplay is always fun, but it's a play on words. So what we do is we pick one topic and we have 4 questions for each topic each time we come to you with a new episode. So another thing about this podcast is it's kind of a little bit unique because we actually record it live and we stream going through our personal Facebook accounts as well as through our YouTube channel, Dondi and Marcy Nettles. So we just want to welcome every single one of you to our show today. And we're super excited. It's episode number 32. And we want to be able to just really get into this so that we can spend all of the time putting all the focus on the topic. And that's the science of gratitude. And so do you want to let them know who are...
Interesting that there's a science behind gratitude.
Right.
And you're going to be blown away when you hear this. But gratitude, or having the attitude of gratitude, is something I think the world needs more than ever right now. And I think it's something that most people, if you look at it as a skill, they're not very well trained in it, or they don't practice it as often as they should. So we're hoping after today's episode, you'll get a much better idea of the importance of it, but understand the science behind it. We have an amazing guest we want to share with you.
Yeah. So do you want to share it?
Yes. Before we bring him on, let me share with you his his bio. So Noah, his name is Noah G. Press McIntyre. So Noah is the founder of the Discover Gratitude movement. He's also an internationally known gratitude coach, speaker, course creator, and poet. He has been a practitioner of grateful living and mindfulness for over 35 years and holds a master's degree in arts and social sciences with a concentration in gratitude and transformational learning from Antioch University. Everybody, please welcome Noah G. Press McIntyre. Hello, my friend. Welcome.
Hey! Hi, Dondi. Hi, Marcy. It's so great to see you. So great to be with you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for sharing this time with us, because you did have to rearrange your schedule to be able to be here. So thank you so much for jumping through those hoops so that you could come in here and just really give us all a boost and educate us on the science of gratitude. So I know, Dondi, read your short bio. Is there anything that you would like to add into that short bio? Like, how did you get started on this journey in the first place before we move into your 4 questions?
Well, Dondi said 35 years, and I just turned 40. So how does that actually happen? And the way I got involved in all this gratefulness and mindfulness practices was my father, when I was 2.5 years old, would sit me on his lap when I was just having the bottle in the morning, and we would sit meditation together. He was a longtime practitioner of Tibetan Buddhist meditation, raised by a minister, and he became a Buddhist minister. It was a very interesting story that his life is, but he would sit with me and he would chant and he would pray and sit meditation. And as I grew up, I learned these meditative and mindfulness practices. My mom took me to meet Thich Nhat Hanh, the great Zen Buddhist master, when I was 7. So I was raised in this world of prayer and meditation and communities coming together, families coming together to practice this.
Wow, that's amazing. And I laughed because I was like, oh my gosh, did we have a typo? Because 35 years, right? But that makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense, and also explains a lot about why you are the man that you are. So thanks to your parents as well. So we would, the 4 questions. Do you want to read the first question, or do you want to? Okay. So let's move into these questions. And the first question is, does practicing gratitude support our immune system? If so, how? So the science of gratitude is all going to be about how you can have a healthier life by practicing gratitude. So take it away, Noah.
Yeah, and Marcy and Dondi, what a relevant time for this question. We're all around the world. There's so many things that we can do to take care of our health and our immune system that we can be in charge of. And I think it's really important to share a special gratitude practice that's been shown to boost the immune system. And it comes from my research at Antioch University. When I did my master's this past year, I came across research from the Heart Math Institute. Definitely check out the Heart Math Institute. There's actually this technique, which I'm going to share with you and the audience. It's called the Heart Lock-In Technique. And before I share it with you, I want you to know that when people practice this technique for over 15 minutes, there's an immediate and significant increase of the secretory IgA antibody. This is the predominant antibody class found in mucosal secretions, which serve as a first line of defense against pathogens. So this is the research that came out of the Heart Math Institute. And I know as a chiropractor, as a former chiropractor, you have a lot of appreciation for all the different ways that the healthcare system works in our body when we're creating our own healthcare from within. So the heart lock technique looks like this. You actually can take your hand and put it on the area of your heart. So you can just take your hand and put it on the area of your heart, and you breathe in and you imagine gratitude coming into your heart, and you breathe out and you imagine gratitude going out to the world. And as you breathe in gratitude, you think about what you're grateful for about yourself. And as you breathe out gratitude, you think about what you're grateful for others. So this is my take on the technique. And we do this in our gratitude groups, on a regular weekly basis together. And it's amazing. You can shift the way your energy feels in just a matter of moments. And when you do this for 15 or more minutes, that's when it has the boost on the immune system that they measured.
That's amazing.
Yeah, seriously.
And what a simple way to be able to positively influence your immune system, and it costs you nothing.
Yeah.
That's right.
Nothing. Wow.
Right.
That's absolutely amazing. I love that. And that's something we're going to start adding in every single day. Thank you so much for that, Noah. Oh my gosh.
It's another way to boost that third part of your immune system. We talked before on previous episodes about the immune system being like a 3-legged stool, where you have your innate immunity. In other words, what you're born with, your killer cells, T cells. Then you also have the second leg is your acquired immunity, the things as you boost your body's immune system by being exposed to something and then overcoming it as your body creates antibodies. And the third is the barrier. So when you're talking about the mucus and the mucosal lining, that's the barrier that protects us. Wow, that's fantastic. It kind of reminds me of what Marcy and I do from our training with Tony Robbins, we call priming. In the morning, where you do those types of things of imagery, and as he was taught from Master Co. So wow, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, you're so welcome. I thought you would love it, and particularly those of us who are watching, to practice that and share that practice with others. It's an unusual gratitude practice that when you think about journaling and you think about making lists, you don't often think about just putting your hand on your heart and thinking and feeling gratitude. So
wow, our thoughts are so powerful, so powerful. I'm glad you said sharing, because I would absolutely at this moment in time like to invite everybody that's watching us live, and even if you're listening to us, if you have the capability to be able to share this out right now to at least 2 people that you're grateful for, so that they too can benefit from the science of gratitude. We would be very grateful for you doing that as well. So let's hop into question number 2. How does practicing gratitude elevate our mood and our happy hormones?
That's right, because one of the things that they've studied, psychology, neuroscience has studied, that when you practice gratefulness, it actually boosts your serotonin. It boosts your dopamine receptors. It boosts your norepinephrine. And these are like the neurotransmitters of feeling good. These are the neurotransmitters of happiness and gratitude. And it's really important to know, again, when you're putting your hand on your heart and you're thinking and you're feeling gratitude, you're actually helping boost your mood. You're helping to decrease, signs of stress and depression. And you're adding endorphins to your system, which help you perform and feel better in all different kinds of stressful and happy situations alike. So that's really important. And there's ways that you can actually stimulate gratitude, both through the practices that we're going to talk about and also through your nutrition, which I think is amazing to be able to do that as well.
And I love that you are like coming in and being this science-based third-party validation. We actually did an episode earlier in season 1 about happy hormones and how important they are and the great benefits that you can get in health-wise, to help your health. Yeah, got that one out of there. But yes, I absolutely love that it's another simple way that you can increase those happy hormones that have a complete control over, let's say, how you sleep, how you age, how your body performs on a daily basis, how it reacts to different diseases that try to come into your body. I mean, everything about our lives, these happy hormones have an impact on, and you just gave us another way that we can positively affect those.
And just how you show up on a day-to-day basis with all the stresses that compound us in the world when we focus on gratitude. Because you can't this is the interesting thing. Another thing about science is you can't focus on two things at the exact same time. So if you're thinking negatively and you instantly start thinking about gratitude, your gratitude will displace that negativity and completely shift things around. So yeah, so relevant. Thank you so much, Noah.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. And they've done studies at UCLA that actually show the effect that gratitude has on everything from heart health to blood pressure to hypertension. You go on, it's having a positive effect on those areas of our body and our health. So I'm really glad you guys are asking me these questions and we're emphasizing it together. This is great.
Yes, it's amazing. All right, so let's move to question number 3, because this is where it's going to get really fun. So what are some ways of practicing gratitude with ourselves or when you're alone?
Well, gratitude has been very popularized for having a gratitude journal, for making a gratitude list in the morning or the evening. Those are some popular ways that you hear about a lot of people practicing gratitude with themselves. But for example, that practice of gratitude that we just did with holding our hearts, that's a phenomenal practice that we can do with ourselves. Many people watching may have also heard of the work of Louise Hay. She popularized the idea of looking in the mirror and saying affirmations to yourself. So I believe that when we have those moments, sometimes the only time where people can get time with themselves in the midst of a busy day is in a bathroom mirror. And so if you can just look at yourself and even think, even if you can't say it out loud, think about something that you're grateful for about yourself in the mirror. That's a really powerful practice. And then, if you're on Zoom or if you're on FaceTime, just take a moment to look at yourself in the screen for a moment and just give thanks for yourself and the opportunity to be alive. That's another really great practice that we can use with this technology that is part of our lives now in a bigger way.
I love the idea about Zoom. We're spending so much time on Zoom, and it's also a great way for you to be able to practice smiling at yourself. Because I don't know if you could really sit there and look at yourself and be thinking about things that you're grateful for yourself and not smile. And then you'll just lift the energy of the whole room with your smile as well. So it's like you're paying it forward as you're feeling gratitude for yourself. That is such a great idea. I love that. I'm going to totally, because I've got like so many Zoom scheduled. It's like so crazy. Something that while we're helping other people, we can also be doing something for ourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Love that. So that's, I mean, just simple. And I'm sitting here, I'm making notes for myself because I want to do all of these things. And I hope everybody that's listening, if you're on here with us live or you're watching the recording, take notes and make sure that you start implementing these things, because knowing something is completely different than implementing it to make change in your lives. So don't just take this as information into your brain to clutter your brain. You want information in, action out. So just like your breathing processes, right? So I love that. Holding your hearts, looking at yourself when you're in near a mirror or when you're on Zoom, and thinking of things that you're grateful for yourself. Love it.
I think it's so powerful because of most of the time the world and the people around us, our spheres of influence, when they characterize us, a lot of times it's not very favorable when we start to take on that persona or that identity. And there's a great book. It's a classic book called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And it's literally, you can reprogram your own brain by what you say to yourself. And the most powerful way to do that is when you're actually looking at yourself with that reflection. That is so powerful. And there's a book called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, which talks about upper limits that we set for ourselves. And a lot of that has to do with the person looking back at you in the mirror and how you feel about him or her. So thank you for that exercise. That's powerful. Being able to be grateful for your own reflection and love who you are is so transformational. Thank you for that, Noah.
Oh, you're welcome. And one other little tip for practicing gratitude with yourself. So I know that for some people, the amount of time they've spent in the car has decreased, but now that we're starting to kind of get our society going again, we're out and about, we're in the car. If you take a sticky note and you actually put it on your dashboard, you write down what you're grateful for, then subconsciously that's feeding your mind as you do your driving around town, the things that you're grateful for. And it's a wonderful way to practice mindfulness before and after you drive. How often do we get in the car and we think, oh, I'm in a rush, I have to get somewhere. If you take 30 seconds and write down, Marcy writes down, I'm grateful for Dondi, and she sticks it on her dashboard, you're going to be thinking about what you're grateful for and about what you love, and you're going to be even more present on the road. That's something that a lot of people don't think about that they can do in their car, and it helps them in the transition of driving more safely, thinking about their goals and their dreams, and just living a happier life when you're out and about.
Wow. That right there. Oh my gosh.
Powerful.
I can see us eliminating road rage if we can get more and more people participating in that little, oh my God.
I remember one time I snuck inside your car and put Post-it notes.
Yeah, everywhere. Like everywhere. Like I had to move them to be able to drive.
How grateful I was for you.
And I kept them there for a long time. And I was probably the safest driver I've ever been.
Right.
Oh, it's so cool.
Awesome. Thank you for that reminder.
Oh. All right. I anticipate my car being filled with Post-it notes. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for that, Noah.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Okay, so now that we've talked about how we can practice gratitude with ourselves, let's move into question 4. And that is, what are new ways to practice gratitude in groups with other people?
Absolutely. I think what we were talking about in terms of, it sometimes can be challenging in a world where there's so much changing, there's so much stress coming from the different circumstances of today. We need each other as a community now more than ever. So one of the things that you can do is simply send a text message to a friend at the beginning or the end of the day and share a picture with them of someone or something that you're grateful for. I know one of my best friends and I, we do that at the end of the day. We send a picture or a note. And one of my clients actually did that with a small group of her friends. And she said it improved her relationship with her children, with her husband. It helped her rise out of a depression that she had been stuck in. It helped her even communicate with people better, having that regular reminder. Now, even better is actually doing this, like you were talking about, Marcy, on Zoom, is getting together. We do this every morning. Me and a group of my friends and colleagues, we have a gratitude group at the beginning of every day, and we just share, here's what I'm grateful for today. because even if you're dealing with something challenging that you're not grateful for, it helps to be able to say, you know, I'm dealing with this, and this is something in the situation that I can be grateful for, and sharing that with people who you know trust you, love you, respect you, and doing that together creates an expectation of being grateful that you hold with you throughout the day, because you know that you're going to see those people on a regular basis. It keeps you thinking about what you're grateful for when you've had a conversation with someone about it, different than just writing it down for yourself. It kind of exponentially grows your gratitude because it creates an expectation in your community and in your team and on your group that we're going to be grateful together. So, you know, that's one of the most powerful and effective ways and this is what we researched at Antioch, the power of practicing gratitude in groups. What I'm talking about, we have data from almost 100 people that says 90% of the people who participate like that in gratitude groups experience a boost in their mood, their creativity, their willingness to help other people in an hour of doing that. So that's really powerful.
Wow, that is amazing. That really is. And I love the idea when someone is in difficult time, especially, I mean, every day should be a day full of gratitude. But when you're going through a difficult time, what you focus on is what you get more of. And so if you take this targeted time to focus on what you're grateful for, and you have that accountability of being in that group with people you care about and that care about you, it can only, grow. And so focusing on your gratitude, you're going to get more things to be grateful for instead of focusing on your problem and getting more of where that came from, right?
Absolutely. And the powerful thing, Marcy and Dondi, about doing the gratitude practice in the groups, especially these are people who you care about, they trust you, they care about you. You can actually say, you know what, here's a situation I'm dealing with. I'm not grateful for this part, but I am grateful for this part. So as long as you are able to be honest about what you're not grateful for, and you're able to return to the part of the situation that you are grateful for, for example, like I have been sick for a week, right? I'm not grateful for that, but I'm grateful that I'm getting support to do everything that I can to get better. I'm not feeling sick, but that's an example of something that someone who's not feeling well can do, right? You can say, I'm not grateful for this, but I am grateful for this. And when you do it in a community of support, it creates honesty, it creates trust and support like I've never experienced before.
Wow. And, I love that, because then you can also have the opportunity to revisit those things that you weren't grateful for and see what came out of them. Because most of the times when you have those difficulties, you're going to be learning something. So maybe in that week that this person was sick, they learned a way to be able to better take care of themselves, or to help increase the way their body works for themselves. And so they could then share it with someone else. So that's another thing too. And I think that's part of what wisdom's all about, right? Is going through the difficult times and then learning from it and having gratitude for the difficulty, because now you know more, you're better, and you can share with others how to do it differently than maybe you did.
Absolutely. Gratitude is one of the most powerful practices for overcoming challenges. It is one of the best things you can do to stay resilient. I helped my father complete the end of his life by writing him gratitude letters and sitting with him and visiting with him in his assisted living and reading him the letters of what I was grateful for about him. That is one of the most powerful personal practices in gratitude. But it's also backed by the research that Professor Robert Emmons has done at UCLA and UC Davis and UC Berkeley, where they show that actually writing gratitude letters to each other. My partner and I, we write gratitude letters to each other at the end of the day. You guys can write gratitude letters to each other. I have a feeling you may already do that. But when you actually write it and then share it in that kind of group partnership situation, it makes it 10 times more real in your experience of being alive.
Wow.
So cool. Yeah. So powerful.
I am so excited for everybody that is hearing this and watching this right now, because these are seriously things that you have control over. There are so many things in the world today that you do not have any control over, and those are the things that you just put aside because you can't control it. Don't worry about it. Go to the things that you can, and you can control how you look at things and how grateful you are on a daily basis. I absolutely love all of the tips that you've given today, Noah, about how to practice gratitude when you're by yourself, how you can practice gratitude in groups. Love holding your heart.
Yes.
Holding your heart. That just makes me so happy. Is there anything you'd like to add before we give Noah the floor to share anything that's on his heart?
I just want to share a couple things that you made me think of as you were sharing this, Noah, and one of them is a very small thing, and you mentioned just recently about doing it for ourselves. So now that the world is starting to open up again, we're going to start traveling again. But before COVID hit and I was traveling a lot, I would go on a trip, open up my suitcase, be in a hotel, getting ready to brush my teeth for the night, take out my overnight bags, unzip it to pull out my toothbrush and find a Post-it note from her that just says, "I love you. Have a great night. I know you're going to do great." And I mean, just remembering that brought tears in my eyes. It brought a huge smile to my face, but it made me want to show up as the best husband I could be from something that probably took her less than 30 seconds to write.
And cost maybe 3 cents.
Yes, if that. But made $1 million difference in my life. That's a small example, but it made a massive impact. And I want to share with you, we have a friend, his name is Chris Michael, and he does this gratitude exercise, is that he makes a post and says, I want, and he asks for donations, and he gets a bunch of people to donate $400, $500, $600. And then he goes out to eat with his family, or when they go out to eat, they're looking for the right person to use that money that he has to tip, because they were just incredible.
Yeah, not to pay for their meal.
Not to pay for their meal, just the tip. They pay for the meal and then they add that on as the tip. But he does it with his family, and he's got 3 boys and a daughter. And what he and his wife Bailey are teaching their young sons is the power of gratitude, but the compound effect of gratitude. And I mean, there's this one example of this young girl. She was a waitress at a restaurant, and she was doing great things, but she was expressing gratitude. And from, if you love the movie The Secret and the Power of Attraction, she had many things she was ungrateful for, but she let those go and was grateful for the things that she was grateful for and lived her life that way. Well, that day when Chris and Bailey and their family showed up at her booth, she was in that frame of mind. So when it was over, and he filmed this live on Facebook as he was sharing her what he was doing for her. And then as he reached out and had her put her hand out, and he was counting all this hundreds and got up to like $600. She's going crazy with, "Are you kidding me? This is insane." Well, it turns out she couldn't pay her rent. She had all kinds of other things. And this was the thing that tipped the scales in her favor. And it was just because she chose to be grateful in her life when she could have, and for everything else, she could have been very ungrateful and angry and bitter at life. But she chose to be grateful for the little things that she had. And that happened to her, and it made all the difference in the world. But it happened to her, but his sons witnessed that whole thing, and they're learning a very valuable lesson. So Chris Michael and Bailey Michael, I want to thank you guys for the example you brought to the world. They did it on Facebook Live. So it wasn't just their kids, it was whoever happened to watch it, but it was amazing. And it's that compound effect of gratitude. And I didn't even really know there was a science of gratitude. So Noah, thank you so much for sharing with us the very valid nature of that. And as a doctor, I can understand it at a deeper level, probably than most people, but I never really knew it was out there. So thank you for enlightening me and giving me inspiration to make more Post-it notes around the house.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I want to just take a moment and honor all the people like Chris Michael who are teaching their children to practice gratitude and appreciation and expressing recognition, because we do that. One person does that with one person every day. That actually has the ripple effect to change how we are being with each other as humans on this planet. And that is really powerful. You do it one family, one child, one waitress, one person who serves you at a time. And that can make a profound difference just in the quality of our lives. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
So good. So before we let you go, Noah, we want to make sure that everybody knows how they can either get in contact with you, follow you, or get into a gratitude movement opportunity with you. How can they do that?
Well, the easiest way, since we're on Facebook right now, is don't leave the show quite yet, but when you're done, just type in Discover Gratitude, and you're going to come to our Discover Gratitude 108 Days of Gratitude Challenge Facebook group. This is a gift to you and the community where we're spending 108 days. We started on what would have been my father's, what was his 75th heavenly birthday on July 12th. And we're going for 108 days because that is a very sacred number in a lot of religious and spiritual traditions. And we're practicing gratitude together every day on our Facebook group. You can go to discovergratitude.org to sign up for more information about our programs, about different offers, workshops that we have on a monthly and weekly and daily basis. So people can go to discovergratitude.org on the website, and they can also come to the Discover Gratitude Facebook group and participate with us in practicing and sharing our gratitude together. We have almost 1,000 people in there. And my vision is that we have 1 million people in there. So come and bring your friends, bring your family, and let's all practice gratitude at a time when our world and each other need it now more than ever.
Yes, most definitely. And so I would say right now, if you are watching, if you are listening, whatever you're doing, as soon as this is over, go and share it. Share this information, again, with at least 2 people that you're grateful for, so that we can start, the ripple effect of sharing gratitude on a grander scale. Because the information that Noah has shared today is, it could be life-changing, not just for you, but all the people around you. But it won't really affect everybody the same way if they don't know the techniques for themselves. And you can give them that gift by sharing this podcast episode. Share it on Facebook, share it on YouTube, and go please to the podcast and give us, a 5-star review. Share that out there, and then just connect. Let's connect together. Let's connect our hearts, and let's just be grateful.
Yes.
But oh my gosh, Noah.
Yes, absolutely. And if you're still watching and you're with us live, go ahead and put something you're grateful for in the comments. Go ahead and put something in the comments that you're going to practice coming out of this episode. The more we can share what we're grateful for, the more we can share what we're doing to practice it, the more we can support each other in making the experience of being grateful a real experience in our lives and on earth. It does just, 1 person, 2 people at a time. That's what makes the difference.
Yes.
So powerful and so true. And no, I just wanted to extend a personal gift of gratitude to you from Marcy and I, is that we are so grateful that for the day that you came into our lives. Never knew there was such thing as a gratitude guru, and you are definitely that person. And when we see you, we observe you, we watch your posts, we watch your Instagram feeds, we watch your Facebook posts, we get on some of your lives, and you are just the epitome of walking your walk and talking your talk. Mm-hmm. And just want to say thank you for that, because having incredible character and being the same person when the lights are on you and the attention is on you as when they're not is very difficult. There's a lot of people that have a public persona and a private persona, and yours is exactly the same. And we are grateful for that, because who you are is who you are, and we are better people because of who you are and because we know you. So thank you for being in our lives and just always giving us something to be grateful for, just if it's just looking at your smile. Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. And thank you for all the ways that you've spent hours and hours with me and my family supporting our health and our education and our growing our gratitude. I'm forever grateful to you for that as well. So thank you for just being such incredible partners in this movement. And I'm so thankful that we got to spend this time together.
Yes, thank you. My heart is just so full right now.
Seriously.
All right, guys, make sure that you go to dondiandmarcy.com and you just check out everything that we've got there. You can review all of these podcast episodes, and all of the new ones coming will be there as well. Plus, you can check out our favorites, and we take prayer requests. Would love to hear what you've got going on and what we can pray for you any given day.
Yes.
But thank you, everybody. Noah, thank you all for joining us on episode number 32 of Wellness for Play. We appreciate every single one of you and are so grateful.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Guys, see you next episode.